Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Mentally Aware with Joy Energy. Once again, another Friday night, 7 p.m. We are grateful to God because you and I is here because God's mercy kept us. So we give Him praise that we are here again. And who is joining me and welcoming everyone from across the globe? No matter the location where you're joining from, you're welcome and know that Mentally Aware is a program designed for you and I to be able to learn, to heal, to reinvent, and to grow. Also to thrive unapologetically. It is not just a program, it's a global movement where we love to raise men, women, youth, young people to understand what mental health is in order to understand also how to take care of your mental health, emotional well-being. And when we talk about people living, thriving in every aspect of life, we're actually talking about thriving spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and social wise. So, but once a man's mental health is destabilized, everything about the man's life begins to shut down. Once again, welcome. My name is Joy Eneh-Oji. I'm a certified mental health and addiction therapist and your trusted friend. I help you heal, reinvent, break free from mental and emotional struggles, break the chains that hold you bound in addictions, and also guide you through your growth through personal development and also thriving in all aspects of life. Once again, welcome to Mentally Aware with Joy Energy. You're welcome. We're going to be starting with recap of our episode 1. We are still in season 1 of this program. Episode 1, we talked about what mental health is and people who can actually go through mental health and how actually it affects everybody. And we said that mental health affects the way we think, the way we behave, the way we feel, and the way we relate with ourselves, even to others. That's social wise. So psychologically, the way we think. So this also is just the stability of a man. So once you can think well, you'll be able to manage stress of life. So you are mentally stable. But whatever that distorts the way you feel, the way you think, the way you behave, have distorted your mental health. And that's when we call it mental health issues. And we were able to, in our episode 2, talked about the myth and the misconception surrounding mental health. Just like many people think that mental health is pulling your clothes and running mad on the street. And we also emphasize that mental health could actually be stress, negative self-talk, because it's distorting the way you're thinking. It could actually be depression, anxiety, trauma. They could actually develop from childhood trauma. It could be a whole lot of things. It could be personality disorder, just like some people always mention he or she is a narcissist. Some of these things are mental health challenges. But when you are not aware, you are deformed because knowledge is what you need for you to thrive in life. So just like I mentioned last week, I said that the greatest mountain of a man is his ignorance. As soon as you are aware, you begin to thrive in every aspect of life. So today we're going to be dealing with something very important that is actually ignored in the society, especially the world at large. So today's topic, we talk about mental health. Yes, men's mental health is what we just quickly want to emphasize on. Men also are hurting worldwide, but it's more like nobody is talking about it. Few persons are talking about it, and it's more like women are dealing with men. It's more like men are dealing with women. So because of these societal norms, we talk about gender issues surrounding mental health and emotional well-being of men. We also talk about the stereotype. This thing makes men to lock up their feeling, and we actually said, yes, men do cry. We are in a society when a man is crying, even people are surrounding will be like, are you not a man? Can't you man up? That's a stereotype and is a gender issue. And when we talk about gender inequality or quality, whatever it is, we are talking about the masculine, the societal expectation from men and women. This is the definition that society has given to a man or woman. It's not actually the way it's supposed to be. When we talk about sex, we talk about either the person is a male or female. When we talk about gender, we're talking about the expectation, society expectation. Just like in some countries, men provide, just like in Nigeria, we expected that a man provides for the family full time, 100% if he's not up to that. So a man is expected. When you begin to like as if the expectations are not met, you begin to go through a lot of stress, you understand? But in some countries around the world, more developed countries, women even work more than the men actually. So I think this is just a societal norm and it's a stereotype that has to be broken. Once again, welcome to Metlia where we join energy. Today on our topic, we're talking about men's mental health. And we're emphasizing that they're hot too. So my interest is the hurting part of this man. So I will be talking about something tonight because I would love to actually throw more light on what we actually ignored recently. So let's shine light on the area that have been ignored, the emotional struggle of men. Men hurt too, so but society teaches them to often suffer in silence. So it's something that we want to break together, learn together as a man, a woman, a boy or girl. You begin to learn for the men around you. When you understand this, you understand how to treat a brother, a fiancé, and a husband. You understand that them too go through issues of life. So where is men actually hurt? So I actually said here that relationship break, relationship issues and betrayal. I actually saw I was invited to speak on a youth program, and one of the prominent question, one of the ladies stood up to ask me. A guy actually asked this question. He said, "Madam, I'm going through heartbreak," and the way they looked at him, I felt bad for him. This is a stereotype actually. He said that heartbreak. Man up, man up. And I stopped them immediately. I said, they too go through heartbreaks. Women also break the heart of men. It's not only the men that is breaking women's heart. When we talk about to establish gender equality, we must actually talk about the mental health of men as we're trying to create balance. Without this, we can't actually succeed in that actually the what do you call it in that particular race or whatever program you are setting out to do. So we talk about the ways men can hurt. They can actually hurt through betrayal, heartbreak. Their heart also break because they're also human beings as well. So they also feel deep emotional pain. So just like they wanted to shun this young guy from speaking up that he's been broken, by what a girl did. So the same way some men are hurting in marriages, women are breaking the heart of the husbands. You understand? It's not only the husband that are abusing women. There are so many women who have become so toxic, excuse me, have been so toxic that have made life miserable for men in their homes. Sometimes something because we counselors, especially in our clinical sections like therapy sections, you keep meeting women who reports that the husband did this and that to them. And at the end, by the time you begin to come deeply to the problem, you understand that this lady actually has been the major case of the marriage. Okay. So, but sometimes it's a society where we promote the feelings of women more than the feelings of men. So I don't know a man that is hearing me today. Your mental health counts too. And we're here to promote how you feel. So men hurt also deeply emotionally. Their heart can break. Don't tell them to man up as a sister. Don't tell them, just tell them to heal. Imagine a guy reporting to you that this person broke my heart. My late younger brother, I remember that particular festive season. He just came and walked into the room and started weeping. And I have to follow him up. I have to get what actually was wrong. The funny thing was that he has this girl to him he's going to marry her. Planning this relationship was just going. He started working early, so he was taking care of this lady, but eventually the properties in the house of the lady. I don't even know whether she's going to see this video. It's very funny. But one of those Christmas season, we just saw the lady posted traditional marriage. This is wow. And my brother was actually broken. Actually, he's late now. He was, I think the girl knew he's gonna, jump out of this life. So that's why the girl even moved up early. But I'm telling you that these people go through heartbreak because I saw him broke. I saw him weep. I saw he couldn't actually bear it. When you see men going through things like this, don't come and tell them, man up, you don't need to cry. They also hurt. They deserve counseling. They deserve professional counseling, especially from even the angle as professionals, even like pastors. Some Christian men doesn't even know how to come to their pastors to explain or to pour out or bottle their their feelings because they believe the pastor will be like, man up now, just you a man, just ignore it. So we're actually promoting whatever that is being a challenge in the society as a leader, as a counselor, as whatever God has placed you, wherever He's placed you to be. Understand that men also hurt. Ways men can hurt, we say that they can actually go through relationship breakup, which affects them deeply emotionally, and also financial pressure. Everyone know this. Being expected to always provide, even as a brother, I do that with my brothers those days. So even as a brother is expected to always provide them something. As a husband, we have lists that we give them. If you don't fulfill it this way, sometimes we put it this way. When they go out running around from morning till night, most cases they even come back to meet a toxic home as well. They come back and they find it as sleeping because the women that don't also understand, but women are feeling the pressure, the men are feeling the pressure. Remember, we are promoting the mental health of women. Don't come and tell me it's them that's causing it. No, we are trying to create a balance here. So some women at home also does it in such a way that they don't even welcome the man after a busy day. We that are married women understand the pain that they also go through. So when it comes to financial pressure, they go through it a lot of time. Some person looking at me will be like, my husband is not even providing for the family. Some people uses some biblical verses to even torture men in the family. The Bible said that many man that cannot provide for the family is worse than infidel. Why is it that you discover the scripture where the man's own is stated, but you did not discover the part where the Proverb 31 woman is also a woman who works, is also a woman who makes the bed, is also a woman who farms, who prepares the place in the house. We women, we don't want to see that part. You don't want to see the part of submission, but you want to ring to the men that before God created Eve, He actually created a garden for him to farm. You understand? So some of those words that we speak to them could be abusive to them. And when they go to work, they begin to hurt. I'm coming to something I wanted to say now, but I'm going to come there. So financial pressure places a whole ton and turmoil on their mental health. And we come and go work stress and burnout expectation. Just like I mentioned, long hours and high performances at work. A guy goes to work and trying to I want to get promoted between now and December. High level of expectation and burnout begins to set in. Stress begins to set in. And most of them, they handle it another way. Because a woman has a way of running to a friend and say, my husband did this thing to me. A friend be like, just leave them. That's how they behave. By the so talking out and even opening up a little bit, she feels better. But most cases, a man will not even talk about it. They die in silence. They actually go through this in silence. I will leave that topic. Loneliness also, they can actually be lonely. Yes, they can be lonely. There's some pastors that are so lonely. There are leaders that are lonely. There are husbands that are lonely. Husbands that, let me explain loneliness in this contest called the widow and the widower. Um, a widow who loses the husband, maybe at the beginning, even after some time, you see many organizations raising awareness for widows, providing for them, doing a whole lot of things for these widows. But where is organization for widows? Can we actually talk and think about this? Who is the widower? I actually have one around me. This man goes through loneliness, through grief and loss of the wife. And he loved this woman. During that time the woman was alive, everyone can attest how lovely this couple is. And this gift was taken from him. There is a vacuum. He's hurting. But what organizations are raised for the mental health of women or men, sorry, who is promoting the widowers in the society is breaking. So them too are going through loneliness. Even some, the kind of things the devil has even projected into marriages these days. So there's some men that their wives also cheat on them. Now, these days, not even only men cheat on their wives cheat on the men. And some people call it a social norm. It's normal, it's nothing, since he cannot provide, you have excuses for doing them. I'm telling you today, them too hurt, their emotion hurt also. Okay, so men can actually experience loss, and as a brother, experience loss. As a wife, husband, whatever it is, men go through grieving as well. An unprocessed childhood. This could come from abuse, neglect, or father wound. I will emphasize on this just in a second. When an unprocessed childhood trauma, if it's not resolved, could lead to anger, emotional outbursts, aggressiveness, and lifestyle that cause calls a man an abuser. Yes, unprocessed one. Let me give you an instance. Imagine a man growing, seeing the father beating the wife. So when he grows, my mom is being beaten by my. Some of them gets angry, continues to beat women. You understand? So some of them are being hurt by their father, who dumped them or maybe abandoned them for a long period of time. They develop this bitterness and aggressiveness, and they agree to marry an innocent lady somewhere, and the lady begins to suffer because they didn't heal from their trauma. And one of the ways to heal is to go for counseling that can actually heal from the root of this trauma. We offer such counseling if you need one. Okay, and we go straight to why it looks like they don't actually hurt. And this is the stereotype surrounding men's mental health, their and emotional well-being. Why it looks like? Because fear of being judged. For instance, a man walks in and said, show you vulnerability, like if I'm vulnerable is weakness. So that kind of lifestyle, the ego in him is portraying itself. Is dying, but he can actually talk about it. Then if I talk about it in the circle where my friends are, they'll be like, oh gosh, shut up, not really you're a weak guy, you know. So for this fear of judgment, they don't seek help when they need help. And limited safe space. Few people ask this man, how are you doing? Last year ending, okay, last year, International Men's Day, I was actually invited as a guest speaker in radio station. And during the program, the men were calling me because I was talking about men's mental health. I understand that these people looked for someone to say, how are you? So in the station, I kept repeating, how are you doing? How are you doing? And I told them how to take care of themselves. I told some of them to go all out and just go and have a barbecue. Like after this program, if you listen to me, can you take yourself out? Like nobody is there. You understand? Take something and tell yourself, I am a man and I deserve to celebrate myself, even if just something little, okay? Instead of always thinking about the workload, the stress, the pressure, everything, you can lift it. And many men were calling and saying, who asks us, how are we doing? So I speak to every female around the world, and the men, the women, the wives, the sisters. Can you start genuinely ask your brother how you doing today? Can you ask your husband how you doing today? You know, while I'm preparing for this program, that became like a signal to me. Have you asked your husband how you doing? And I say, Father, thank you. I asked him this morning. You know? So imagine you being intentional about that, and also making sure that you are actually interested in how he actually feels. So now sisters doing it, women doing it. Let us come together to actually establish this gender equality when it comes to mental health. So what people should know about men's mental health. Men do have emotions. That's number one. They have emotion and they deserve to be expressed. So I'm talking to counselors, pastors, leaders, no matter the level God place you. When a guy, a young teen, a young child, a man comes to you, can you give them the little space without that place of judgment? Because them too, they are hurt. Don't see them like they are weak vessels. Men experience depression, anxiety, trauma, and suicidal thoughts. Suicidal rates often in men are higher than in women globally, according to statistics. Men die in suicide globally among other women. You understand? You know, there's this shock. You know, they say women are shock absorbers. So the question is, what are men? You know, because those men are, the expectation from them are so much. And we talk about, when I'm talking about, some people be like, mother, you're actually talking about responsible men. But I will tell you truth, apart from diabolical things and the evil, witchcraft and wizard and wickedness of people around us, there's no man that wants to be in this life and live a miserable life. Understand the fact that we're talking about men also hurt. Even the one that you think that is not working also blames himself sometimes. Now, why can't I meet up to standard? My interest tonight is men's mental health. Men also need a safe space. All right. So we talk about the stereotype. That means misconception. That's the part two. The stereotype surrounding men's mental health. Men don't cry. Please, they do. But the problem is that they actually cry silently. Instead of shedding the tears out, they cry in the heart, which does more damage than someone who cry. Because crying is part of emotional healing. Whenever something happens so badly to you, don't lock it up and say, I cannot cry. I'm a man. No, cry it out. If you have to shut the door and weep, because weeping is part of healing. Even research does so. Be strong one, you know, when somebody is going through something like a widow, and you just come and say, just shake him. Man, be strong, be strong. I just walk out. But if it's a lady, please, can I come? Can we send somebody to be there? You understand? Them too hot. So the word, be strong now, They also have the feeling. It's one of the things, the stereotypes surrounding men from seeking help, and that's gender problem. Men must fix everything, unrealistic pressure. We set pressures on them. Fear of loss of respect, thinking vulnerable, make others see them as less capable. For instance, they believe that they are losing their respect. So as I round up tonight, counselors inside, what's my insight? What do I discover in all this thing? What do I share with you? Suppressed pain from often results to anger. Actually, I've mentioned that. Now, these things that men are feeling, let me tell you what they do. At the end of the thing, they cause back home, they begin to exhibit it in anger. So when you just say, honey, welcome, what is good about today? So as a woman, you don't just come and say, what is even it? So can you see it in the other way around? Could it be a stressful day? Because stress, uncontrolled stress, if you don't know how to manage stress, you begin to raise it out through emotional outbursts. So some of them, when they don't understand, because they cannot open up to people, because of the stereotype concerning their surrounding them from seeking help, being understood, being well taken care of, even by their spouse, you know what they do? They just abuse substances. So in the evening, they just end up going to bar to drink, to smoke, to do a whole lot of things, to cool off from the stress and the pressure that they are going through, and also mental issues. They are normal health issues. So suppressed pain could lead to emotional outbursts themselves, and they are not. Because when you are, you understand the place of confidentiality and kicking off whatever that surround people from seeking help. So when you seek and get one, see the person that pour out your pain. So one of the advice I'm giving to every man out there, every boy out there, as a parent that have a teen boy in the house, pay them attention. That's why I'm bringing this teaching, that teen boys are hurting, seriously hurting. So imagine you bringing the teen and saying, let me quickly take you to a therapist or a counselor, even if it's just an hour section. Let's be able to deep into what could be going on. Some of us see our boys, even after a while, begin to shut down academically. You understand? Someone who has been doing great begins to shut down, begin to have academic stress and a lot. As parents begin to beat them up. And there's some young boys, you understand? And there's what is called ADHD. This is a deficit disorder, attention deficit disorder that's prominent among the teenagers, especially the young guys. You know, the young girls, they do that. So this is characterized by distraction. These children always distracted. They can't sit one place. As if some of you said, who did this thing to you, understand? You beat up this child, and it's actually a mental challenge that calls for just a counseling to help this child. So I don't know whether your own is that way, or you're a pastor, a man of God, and you're also hurting. There's sometimes you just need to cool off too, by seeking another level professional counselor who comes to, because in our order, one of the ethics in our counseling is that no matter who comes to us, we maintain high level of confidentiality. So you coming to seek for help, irrespective of whatever you're going through, your race, your title doesn't reduce you. It makes you a man who is even strengthened, a man who understands who he is and all that. So seek professional counseling if you are going through something, because if you abuse something, if you go through sex, if you go through love, you can abuse them and it becomes an addiction. And by the time you want to pull yourself out, the brain is already a program in the brain that you must go for it. This is the reason why many men cheat. My wife is doing this and this, that. So you felt by cheating on your wife, this is going to solve the problem. You end up cheating over and over again. And the worst now happen in the marriage. Instead of cheating, now you now transfer from cheating is to sign in for someone who is an expert in that, and we are there for you. Remember, I introduced myself at the beginning. I'm a mental health expert and a therapist, so you can sign in and you're rest assured that you are safe. And you can actually join a peer group as a man. For instance, we have volleyballs, we have footballs. Like Saturdays like this, you can tell yourself, let me just go and mingle out. You know, snooker. You can actually snook balls with other peers, you understand? These are healthy ways to control stress. Coming back from work and just go, I think my husband loved that. You can just go and do snooking, come back. In fact, he learned to exercise almost every day now. So this is the way he stays healthy. And that's, as a man, you can say, I come back very late. A little stretch and sit up in the room can actually go a long way. And, we're going to be having a section where where I'll be teaching some exercises you can do right inside your house to promote your mental and emotional well-being. So healthy coping outlets like exercise, journaling, where you are so angry, can you just pour out what has happened to pick it down? I'm trying to give you the best way out instead of taking it the other way around, like abusing, drinking, smoking, and doing a whole lot of things to get yourself out of emotional pain. So I'm recommending for you professional counseling. You can seek help and peer group where you can join to be part of a game, like a hobby. Get something doing outside the negative, the unhealthy coping mechanism. Healthy coping like exercising, journaling, prayer. When was the last time you said prayer over yourself as a man? So because anytime you meditate and you pray, there's a way it cools off stress and helps you to understand that the divinity is also aware of whatever you're going through, encouraging you to do much more better. I'm trying to pause and breathe. I've been talking. All right. Once again, thank you for joining me tonight. I don't know what you have learned. I want you to drop in the comment section what you have learned from today's teaching. As a woman, can you drop something? As a girl, as a boy, as a man, as a leader, can you drop something? What's one thing you've learned from today's mentally aware? Remember, our topic was mental health, men's mental health. So I want you to know that you can actually test for your mental health. Oh, am I actually okay? What's wrong with me? So quickly, we are dropping in our comment section right now our mental check-in form. When you just click the link, you fill the form. It's like examining your mental health status. When you are done and you also want to book a section, or I want to talk to a counselor, even if it's 15 minutes, it's going to be free. All you need to do is to click the link and go ahead and fill the form. Maybe that 15 minutes clarity section could actually cool off whatever that is about to happen as a bomb to your head. So go ahead and check your mental health. You can also reach out to us directly through our WhatsApp link or WhatsApp line that will be dropped on the comment section. Also, we have a support group which is not gender based. So is anybody can join our support group. Every morning you receive a word of courage every month free of charge. So the WhatsApp group support group will be dropping right here. Your WhatsApp and you're comfortable, you can join through the WhatsApp support group or you join us on our Facebook support group. Okay, so the link will be lined up on the comment section. So feel free to do whatever the path and follow whatever you want to do. And before I conclude, there is a program that is ongoing about addiction and negative habit. So many men, because of what you are going through, you have seen yourself, you have bottled your emotion, bottled your pain, and you are now masturbating, watching pornography day and night, gambling, substance abuse, taking different kinds of drugs like I don't want to name them in this place. This is mind blowing. The teenagers are abusing drugs. Everybody, like women, are abusing drugs. There's a group of women that actually came close together now. They come together, lodge in the hotel. What they do is all through the weekend, instead of having fun, the other way around, what they do is to smoke their pain out. I'm telling you the truth. Your health, physical health, mental and emotional well-being is at stake. That can never bring solution. And there are many ways out. You can follow us and see our program. Register for 21-day overcoming negative habits and addiction. We're going to help you heal from every kind of addiction you're going through, help you discover how to form a brand new habit, and also help you manage anger. No matter the aggressiveness that came through trauma, whatever experience that you've had, maybe as I'm talking to you, you are even separated from marriage and you're not the cause, whatever it is. We are not here to talk about or to blame you. We are here to give you a solution that makes you heal, revenge, and try, which is our mission behind Mentally Aware. Whatever you need, we are here to offer you when it comes to mental health and emotional well-being. Our addiction program will start 1st September to 21st of September. No matter what you're going to, using it as a coping mechanism. I'm telling you, unhealthy coping mechanism makes things worse. But when you switch to healthy coping mechanism, that's where you can be able to discover the tools that helps you to thrive unapologetically. When your life depends on opinion of men, you will never have a stable mental health. But when your life depends on who God actually said you are, you keep holding on to what God said, not what men say. You see yourself thriving even when you are losing interest, even when you are breaking out, even when you are tired, even when you are weary. When you remind yourself you can be better, you can do better, that word alone keeps popping up. So positive self-talk is what I'm leaving you with before you shut down. Can you speak to yourself, I have mental soundness. I have mental soundness. I know who I am. I am not defined by my problem. I am not defined by my challenges. I am mentally aware. I know when to pause. I know when to rest. I know when to seek for help. And now when I seek for help, it's not a sign of weakness, but it's a sign of strength. Once again, thank you for joining Joy Energy. See you next week in Mental Hour every Friday by 7 p.m. Next, we'll be talking about mental health and addiction. Okay, generally, for everyone. See you again next week. Thank you for joining me all over. Drop your questions, drop whatever it is. You can inbox or DM us. No matter the question, you can chat us up and feel free to comment and enjoy your evening. Thank you and see you next week.